Today in this video, I am going to explore a common misconception people have about improving their communication skills in English. That's what I am going to talk about in this video. Today in this video, I am going to show you the real key to better English speaking. That's what I am going to show you in this video. So if you are someone who want to improve your communication skills in English in 2025, this is the video you should be watching till the end. If you watch this video till the end, I can assure that you are going to speak English fluently after 3 months. Why I am saying after 3 months? Because I am going to give you something. If you just follow that for 3 months, you are going to speak English fluently after 3 months. That's my promise. So first of all, let me talk about the misconception people have about improving their communication skills in English. They believe that if they want to speak English fluently and confidently and effortlessly, they need to practice English speaking as much as possible. After all, we have heard that practice makes perfect. But what if your practice is imperfect? You are not going to improve your communication skills in English if your practice is imperfect. When it comes to language learning, that's the very thing that can hold you back from speaking English fluently. Many English learners believe that the more they will talk, the better they will get at it. But they are not going to become better at speaking a skill without the thing that I'm going to share with you in this video. They join conversation club, they look for language partner exchange, they join a speaking club in order to get better at speaking. They do all kinds of things to speak English fluently. I am not saying that you shouldn't be joining a conversation club. Some of the activities might be helpful to a certain degree. That's what I'm saying. But they are not the effective ways to improve your communication skills. Now, here's what I think can help you. I want you to look at how you have learned your mother tongue. Were you speaking to learn how to speak your mother tongue? Were you writing to learn how to speak your mother tongue? Were you doing all kinds of things that I mentioned just? No, you were not doing any kinds of thing I have just mentioned. You were started by listening. You started by listening, and you had listened for months, years before you had spoken your first word. That's what the secret is all about. You have to be listening to this language as much as possible instead of speaking. What do I mean by that is you shouldn't be just jumping into speaking without the proper understanding of spoken English, because you might just make a lot of mistakes. During these years, we develop a strong foundation of language patterns. During this period, we observe patterns, we observe words, we observe sentence structures. Like we were observing without speaking. You can call it silent period. It was our silent period. And when it comes to language learning, you must be approaching, and the same principle applies when you learn your second language. If you are learning English as your second language, I want you to do the same with this language. I want you to listen to this language as much as possible, because when you will listen to this language every day as much as possible, you will develop a deep understanding of this language, which will allow you to speak fluent and you will speak confidently in front of anyone, because now you have developed the understanding of words and sentence structure, and you will understand context of the language. Like in this context, these words are used. You will develop the understanding of context. That's what it is going to help you with. By listening to this language as much as possible, you are giving your brain the necessary raw material it needs to construct the deep understanding of English. In this period, you are learning what words and what sentence structure to use in what context. You are developing a solid foundation you will need in the future. By listening to this language, you expose yourself to new ideas, new words, new sentence structures. You are always learning something new. And without learning something new, if you only focus on talking in English, you will not be able to talk effectively. In order for you to talk effectively, you must have enough or sufficient information about this language. Only then you are going to speak effectively. You need to understand this truth. If you are not able to speak effectively in English, chances are you have not developed a deep understanding of English spoken. Means you have not listened to this language well. By listening, you know how to pronounce some certain words. You know how to just your speech will sound natural if you have spent much time on listening. This is the secret I wanted to give you. I want you to focus on listening more than you focus on speaking, because speaking, you are not going to speak effectively in English until or unless you focus on listening. And what do I mean by listening is you should be listening actively. Means you should be responding to what you are listening. That's the secret. It's not about passive listening. Passive listening is when you listen too much but you don't practice of what you are listening. And active listening is something that you practice whatever you are listening. This is going to train your mind instantly, and that's how you're going to improve your English. In 3 months, you are going to improve a lot, I promise. This is what I did to improve my English. I just immersed myself into listening to this language as much as possible. In 24 hours, I was listening 14 to 13 hours every single day, and this helped me speak English fluently. In my village, there's no one who talks in English. There's no one in my family who talks in English. But this was the secret to speaking better English. If you just do this for 3 months, I can guarantee that your communication in English going to be far better than those who only focus on speaking. You will be exposed to new vocabulary, new words, new sentence structure that will allow you to speak, that will allow you to sound natural in this language. That's what I did. And I'm telling you from my personal experience, this helped me become a fluent speaker. I'm not saying that I have mastered this language, but I can articulate my thoughts well in this language. I can, talk for hours in this language without hesitating. That's what I can do after using this technique for 3 months continuously. So if you found this video helpful, I want you to smash the like button. I want you to hit the subscribe button too, because it motivates me to make more videos.